So friends, let's see this delicious amboli recipe. Now first I'm going to coarsely crush 15 cloves of garlic in my mortar and pestle. So we have garlic like this, so do not get it in the mixer. Grams of amboli because I'm going to be making 12 ambolis and this is easily available in any general store. I will leave the recipe of how you can make it at home if you can't get your hands on this flour. Now I'm going to add the crushed garlic to this amboli peat or amboli flour. Next, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of haldi or turmeric powder and 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. So this is the regular chili powder. Next, I'm going to add some salt to taste. Now I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of fresh coriander leaves or kothimbir. And now I'm going to mix everything really nicely and I'm going to keep adding a little water at a time. So basically this batter should be like a dosa batter. It shouldn't be too runny, it shouldn't be too thick. So here for about 250 grams of amboli flour or peat, I used about just 1 liter of water short of say 2 to 3 tablespoons like you will see. So this is a 1 liter bottle of water, but I used almost all the water, leaving around 2 tablespoons. So mix everything really well till you have a lump-free batter. We want a very smooth batter like a dosa batter. Now this amboli can be eaten for breakfast, you can take it for your tiffin, you can give it to your kids for their school tiffin. It's really a very healthy option and it's really delicious. So mix everything. So like I said, for 250 grams of flour, I used almost a liter of water. And pour a little at a time, don't pour the entire water at one time, pour a little at a time till you get the perfect consistency. And once you have that, I'm just taking a whisk so that I get a very smooth batter. So like I'll show you in the bottle how much water is left. So you'll get some kind of an idea. See, that's just this much water left. Otherwise I used almost the entire liter of water. So now you're going to whisk everything really well and then you're going to cover and keep this for 10 to 12 hours. So I like to normally do it, in the night so that in the morning I have this ready for breakfast or to give it to, for tiffin to my family. Now this is just what I like to keep in my masala box, which is generally kept in a masala box. So I have here my turmeric powder, my red chili powder, some asafoetida or hing. This is some mustard seeds or mohri or rye, some methi seeds, some cumin or jeera, and this is goda masala, which is homemade. I leave a recipe of how I make my goda masala. So these are things that I generally use. Okay, now this is after 12 hours. You can see that the batter has come nice and a little bit fluffier. And here I have a heavy bottomed iron pan that I generally use to make my dosas, and I've really heated it up for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And then just like a dosa batter, I'm going to pour about 4 tablespoons of the batter, and then I'm just going to spread it out with my spoon very lightly, just like a dosa or a ghavan, which is nothing but an Indian pancake, which is so delicious and so healthy too. Now I'm just going to drizzle a few drops of ghee. Now I like to use ghee, but you can also go with oil. And now we're just going to cover this and let it cook for about a minute or so on a low to medium flame. Now after a minute, you will see that the edges have started to brown a bit. If you look carefully, the edges have all browned up a little. So now with your ulatna or your spatula, just gently loosen the edges or the sides and then slowly work from the sides to the middle. Now one tip I like to give you is that your pan has to be really hot and try to use a nice heavy bottomed pan. So I keep this pan only for my ghavan, dosas, pancakes and ambuis. And now just flip it over and you'll get this beautiful golden brown color, and the edges get so nice and crispy. And then again, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of ghee again. That's completely optional. And then I'm just going to let the other side also brown a bit. So you can see how beautiful and nice and brown and golden brown. I I have given a little closer shot of the amboli, so you can see that. So I just transfer this to a serving plate. For those of you who have not tried this, I suggest that you do. You get this amboli flour, in almost every general store. If you're in an area like Dadar, then you'll definitely get it on, anywhere, because it's really very, very common. So this is the second one that I'm making. So altogether I made 12 with 250 grams of flour. And see, after the pan starts getting heated up, the amboris also get ready really fast. This has a totally different taste for those of you who have not tasted this. So now I've taken a closer shot and you can see how crispy and delicious this is. And you can serve this with a ketchup. I generally serve it with some ketchup or some homemade chutney. The choice is yours. So I hope you give this recipe a try and let me know, for especially those who are trying it out for the first time, what your feedback on this is. Akshita here from Akshita's Recipes. Welcome to my channel. So now with the summer heat out, we should eat some more leafy vegetables, something which will cool us down rather than eating oily gravies and curries. Let's have something refreshing and light. So today I'm going to show you our traditional radish vegetable, which is mulyachi bhaji, and it's really delicious, and I'm going to make it Goan style, just like my grandmother used to make it, with very little oil. Now I'm using coconut oil, which is traditionally used, but you can also use your regular oil that you use. And I'm going to show you how to prep the vegetable, how to wash it and clean it and chop it up, and everything, so you can even beginners will be able to make this recipe. And this can be had with some rice and dal or some rice and chapati. It's really nice and it will really cool you down during the summer. So let's just jump straight ahead into today's recipe. wasn't that a real easy recipe? Such few ingredients, just some onions and chilies, salt, a little bit of sugar, and we're all set. So now some little tips on how to buy this radish. So first of all, you should see that the radish part, which is like the legume part, is really nice and firm. It isn't soft, it isn't discolored, it should be nice and white. Then the leaves also should be really nice and dark green and fresh. So these are the tips you need to keep in mind, and also wash the leaves really well like I have done. Soak it in some water for about 10-15 minutes, then rinse it well and then use it for the recipe. So that's all you need to keep in mind, guys. So make this during the summer, cool yourself down and enjoy. If you like today's recipe, you know what to do. You need to give this a big thumbs up. That will help me with my videos, and the more likes you give me, the more YouTube will put up more of my videos for you all through your recommendations. Also hit the subscribe button, become a part of Akshata's recipes, and once you have subscribed, click the little bell. That way whenever I put up a new video, you'll get a message for the same. Also click on the all in the notification so you won't miss out anything on my channel. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching my recipes. Go and check out all the list of other recipes I put down in the description box and the comment section. See you soon with another recipe. Whole wheat rotis, chapatis, puris. We call it puris at our home. So to make 4 of these puris, I'm going to use 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Now I'm going to add approximately about 1/4 cup of room temperature water, a little at a time. Basically, you want to get all of this flour together. It should not be soggy and it should not be dry. So just add a little water at a time till you can get all of the flour together. I love kneading dough with my hands rather than using a machine, because then you get a real feeling of how the dough is. So just knead all of the dough till all of the dry dough is now become a part of this particular dough. And then you're just going to drizzle a few drops of oil. You can also use clarified butter or ghee, and again knead this for a whole half minute till you get a very pliable, flexible and nice and soft yet firm dough. So kneading it is very, very important. And you can see that the bowl is also clean. Now I'm going to take my rolling surface. I've already got my pan heating up. I'm going to dust a little bit of this whole wheat flour. So we're going to need that. We're going to need a spatula, which is called a ulatna, and you're going to need a rolling pin, or a latna as you call it in Marathi. And now you're just going to dust your surface with a little bit of the whole wheat flour. Your tawa is nice and hot. That's very important that your tawa is hot. And now I'm just going to take a piece, a small ball of the dough, and I'm going to roll it between the palms of my hands to a very smooth, without any cracks kind of a ball. It has to be really, really smooth. Now we're just going to add a little more flour and you're going to roll it. Now what I like to do is, I don't like to roll it in the middle. I like to roll the sides. I like to pull the sides, not the middle. And that way you get a very even sized chapati or roti or puri. Just keeping it, pulling it from the sides like this. It should be very even and round and look really nice and pleasant like this. And now you're just going to place it on your pan. The pan has to be nice and hot. You're going to cook from a low to medium. And after some time, you'll notice that the top of, you just have to turn it within about half a minute, and you'll see this little small, little, kind of not balloon, but it's kind of fugofying, as you can say. So you get these small little things coming up. So just press them down with your ulatna or your spatula, and then you'll see that how it starts to swell up and double like this. So just roast it nicely on both sides, and then just take it out in your chapati box or your puri box, and then just apply some lovely ghee on it. The ghee will keep it nice and soft, and it makes it really delicious to eat. So I'll show you how soft these are. You can literally fold them and squeeze them in between. everyone, and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Akshita, and you are watching Akshita's Recipes. The theme of my channel is to keep it simple, quick, yet delicious. So, like all my other recipes, today's recipe too is going to be very simple to make, few ingredients, and the end result is going to be really delicious. We're going to want to make it again and again. So let's get started with today's recipe. So let's see how to prepare this lovely Goan Bhaji Pav. Now here I've taken exactly 1 cup of these white watana or white peas. I've washed it well under running water and then I've soaked it for about 7 to 8 hours or overnight. The next morning I just peeled one potato, diced it up and added both of them to my pressure pan by adding enough water, and I'm going to cook it for 1 whistle on high and then simmer for 10 minutes. And once the cooker is cooled, you're going to see that your peas or your white watana are completely cooked and your potatoes also are cooked, but they're not overcooked too. So you can just check one of the watanas by pressing them and you'll know that it's all ready, and so is the potato. So now let's see all the other ingredients. They are all easy. I mean, regular ingredients we always have in our kitchen. So here is the watana with the cooked potato. Now we require one large onion, which I have nicely sliced very fine. Here are about 5 large cloves of garlic. This is half an inch of ginger which I've peeled and just cut up into small pieces. These are 4 dried red chilies, 2 tablespoons of fresh coconut, 1 star anise, just 1 leaf of mace or 1 petal of mace, half an inch of cinnamon, 4 lavangs or cloves. These are about 10 peppercorns or miri. This is about 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds or sauf. That is kaskas, which is again 1 teaspoon. Now, besides that, I've just taken about 1 teaspoon of tamarind and soaked it in some warm water. Then we also require another medium-sized onion which I've just diced up, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, a pinch of garam masala and some salt to taste. Now I have a recipe for homemade garam masala. I'll leave a link below. So now we are all ready to make our lovely Goan Bhaji Pav or Tonak. Yes, I just wanted to show you my beautiful flowers. You can always, pep up your kitchen by just adding some fresh flowers and, it just peps up your mood. So let's start with today's recipe, guys. It's super easy to make and it's really, really delicious to have. So now I've taken a pan and in my pan I've just heated about 1 tablespoon of oil. Now first we're going to fry all of our masalas. So we're going to start by adding the cloves of garlic. Let them fry well. Then goes in the ginger. Keep your flame between low to medium. Now it's always good to keep a small little plate handy so you can rest your spoon on it so you don't have to later on clean up your gas top or your platform. You can use any regular small little plate. It really helps and makes the work and cleaning process easier. Now we're going to next add our peppercorns. Now when you add the spices, keep your flame at the least. Then I've added the petal of mace, my star anise. Next goes in my cinnamon, cloves. Then goes in my kaskas or poppy seeds. Next goes in my sauf or fennel. Then goes in my dried red chilies. And now we're just going to fry everything. At this point, you will get the lovely aroma of all these beautiful spices. Now I'm going to add my fresh coconut. Again, just give it a little bit of a fry. And then goes in my sliced up onion. Now, for those of you who don't know what this Goan Bhaji Pav or Tonak is, it's a kind of a breakfast item, and you'll get it at all most of the cafes, especially the old cafes that have been there in Goa for a long time. You'll have this Bhaji Pav served as breakfast, and it's so yummy, it's so delicious. So now you got to fry all of this really well on a low to medium flame. If you fry all your masalas well, even the life of the dish remains a little longer, and also the flavor is longer. Now I'm just going to let this masala or this bagar just cool to room temperature. Then I'm going to transfer it to my blender. And then we're just going to add about a tablespoon or two of water as required. And we're going to grind this to a very, very fine paste. This is very key. We don't want it to be a coarse paste. It has to be extremely, extremely fine. So using your judgment, how much ever water you require, add that. I've added about 2 tablespoons and grind it to a very, very fine paste, maybe 3 or 4 times. You have to get a paste like this. And then we're going to use the reserve water. So that is the water which remains in your mixer pot or your grinding stone, whatever you're using. That also has all the flavors, so never get rid of that. So now we are all ready with our ingredients. Now I've added 1 more tablespoon of oil to my pan. You don't require too much of oil for usars or for this, bhaji pav. Now I'm going to add my diced up onion that I had cut up roughly. Fry that well too. Then we're going to add the turmeric powder or the haldi powder. Give that a fry. Now next goes in a pinch of garam masala. Like I said, I have a recipe of homemade garam masala which is super, super simple. I'll leave a link below, and you can just go and check it out. So now I'm adding my ground paste. I guess I'll add the pinch of garam masala later on. So now I'm going to add the ground paste. Now we've already fried all of these spices, so you don't need to fry this for a very long time, but just give it a good mix so that it blends very well with the onion. Mix everything nicely. Now I'm going to add my garam masala, like I said. This also adds a lovely flavor to the dish. And then we're going to add our cooked up vatana or white peas and our potato. Give everything a nice mix. Then we're going to add all our reserve water. That is the water that we washed up the mixer pot with, so we don't lose any of the goodness. And then we're going to give everything a good mix. And now all we're left to do is add our salt to taste, a pinch of sugar, and our tamarind juice. Friends, if you haven't had Goan Bhaji Pav, then guys, make this and have it, and then you know what I'm talking about. It's just an amazing dish. So now I'm just adding some salt to taste. I think I've added about 2 teaspoons, but you add it according to your taste. Then I like to add a pinch of sugar. Give everything a nice mix. Now this goes very well only with pav. I mean, you can have it, and then I want to add the tamarind juice. I mean, you can have it with chapati, puri, rice, but it's best with pav because the pav soaks up all the goodness of this lovely, lovely bhaji. I know I'm going to come up with a recipe of pav very soon. I've got many requests. I've got requests from recently Maria Bocaro sent me a message saying, Akshita, when are you going to prepare homemade bread? So that's on my charts, but I think I should be preparing pav that will go, like ideally with this recipe. So look out for my pav recipe coming up. And that's it, friends. You just cover and cook it for about 5 to 10 minutes and it's all ready. So I just took out some to taste and I just found that I needed a little bit more of salt. So I added it and it is just perfect. So like I said, the best way to eat this is with some lovely pav. And of course, if you all are in Goa and you get the Goan pavs, then it's just a match made in heaven.